A confirmed case of a student testing positive for COVID-19 at one of the island's learning institutions has compelled education officials to tout the measures put in place for this eventuality. Sources tell News Force that a student at the Labrie Boys Primary School has contracted the virus, and a class of 16 students has been asked to quarantine as they await test results. The education sector has been among the hardest hit in the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, disrupting physical classes and causing grave financial woes to some administrators and staff. While Chief Education Officer Dr. Fiona Philip-Meyer did not speak specifically to reports about a confirmed case, she highlighted the challenges facing the school system like any other sector given exposure to the community amid a pandemic.
For us, we are cognizant of the fact that we are part of a larger society. I like to say education is not a bubble. We would have parents, students, teachers, other staff members who may be impacted by COVID. The reality is that we have to manage COVID cases as per all other sectors. Having looked at the statistics and seen the number of cases which is in the adult population, we would note that many of these adults are parents, are staff members, and so it will be a situation where we have to manage cases within educational institutions.
It should be noted that health officials have labeled schools as low-spread areas. The education sector is governed by a rigid process that includes sanitization at points of entry, physical distancing, and alternate day scheduling of classes to avoid overcrowding at the school plants.
It is about working with the health authorities, working with our teams on the ground to manage as best as we can, with hopefully a consistent period for our students to be within educational institutions.
It is also noteworthy that given the low risk of spread at school, the threat of cases often emanates from outside the school population, through sources like transportation, community and adult spread. Dr. Philip-Meyer outlines the measures implemented to mitigate pandemic disruptions to the vital third term.
Knowing that, there are incidents where we will have to manage COVID-19 cases, and so all established protocols should be in place and are in place. And our big reminder to everyone is to adhere to the protocols at education institutions as well as in the wider population and the wider general public.
Data from the World Health Organization suggests that children under the age of 18 years represent about 8.5% of reported cases. WHO has recommended that after reopening schools, a rigid monitoring system should be in place to identify the number of school-based outbreaks, effectiveness of policies and measures, and effectiveness of symptoms reporting, testing, and contact tracing of suspected cases. According to the WHO, lessons learned from the monitoring exercises should be employed to ensure the safest environment possible for students and staff. Sola Alfred, HCS News Force.